Hey there guys, it's MadGamesGX here, and we are going to be going over some combos that you need to know for branded DRACOTAIL this format. We're going to be going over the best one card combo that you could have, literally just one card, and then also the best two card combos that you could have. This is going to apply for both the pile version and the hand trap version, so whatever version of branded Draco that you play, I think that you'll find value in a few of these combos. So if you guys want to see more content like this, let me know down below. If you want to see the example deck list, go check out yesterday's video, and if you already watched that, then you're already familiar with it. However, like I said, you could really be running different variants of branded Draco, and these combos will still apply. So this is going to be the one card branded fusion. This is literally just one card, no discard. So all we need is the branded fusion, and then we go branded fusion, sending the DRACOTAIL Frixel plus the Fallen of Albaz, and then we're going to go into the Albion, the branded dragon, except we are not going to trigger the Albion, the branded dragon. We are just going to actually trigger out the Frixel and then go Frixel effect to search out the Ketu, and then the Ketu is going to be able to search us out that Lucius I prematurely searched. And then we can normal summon the Lucius since we have not normal summoned, and then search out the Phimena. And here we can go Phimena effect to just fuse off the Lucius plus the Albion into the Secretarion Dragon. So yes, you need Secretarion Dragon for these combos. If you're running DRACOTAIL, you're probably running Secretarion anyway. So we can then go Lucius effect since it was used as a fusion material to then set the Rahu DRACOTAIL, and then go Secretarion effect to then spin back the Fallen of Albaz and special summon out the Frixel, and the Frixel on normal or special summon will be able to target one DRACOTAIL monster in your graveyard and then special summon it and then return one monster you control to the hand. And so we're going to special summon out the Phimena and then return it to hand. And so now here we can go Rahu DRACOTAIL and send the Phimena since we haven't even used it yet, plus the Urgula from the deck to the graveyard, and then go into the Gulamel, and then Gulamel will be a nice endboard piece that we can now pair with two DRACOTAIL traps that we are going to get off of the Phimena and then the Urgula triggering right here. So we get DRACOTAIL Flame and DRACOTAIL Horn here. You could also run Sting in theory, but I think these two are generally the best traps that they have. And then DRACOTAIL Urgula can then use its effect to spin itself back to then put Phimena to hand, and this is what you're ending on for one branded fusion, which is really good because then in the end phase you still have the Albion in the graveyard that you fused off to get that Secretarion Dragon, and this can get you the Fallen and the Virtuous, which is a very damn good card. So this card is going to be a target pop, and then you can send one card from your extra deck to the graveyard. And honestly guys, if you have any other dragons in rotation, you could have kept that Albaz in the graveyard, and then you can send Rinbrum to the graveyard off of the Fallen and the Virtuous and then get a free Mirror Jade on top of all of this. So yeah, now you might be like, oh, this is super DRACOTAIL heavy, and you know, if I'm playing the pile branded, why would I want to do this? Because this is more interruptions than you'll get out of a single branded fusion, even in pure branded. So I think that this is a very good combo, and it just shows you what happens when you only have branded fusion, right? Like in the pile version, if you have Tragedy in your deck, yeah, you can send Tragedy, but you aren't going to be able to bridge into the DRACOTAIL stuff. So this is just kind of how to do that with one card, no discards. So that means your other four cards in hand plus the Phimena will be able to do stuff, right? You'll have the Phimena to then fuse off maybe the Albaz in your hand to make the Mirror Jade. So this is a really competent unboard in my opinion, and then you still have the Fallen and the Virtuous, which gives you follow-up, and the Secretarion Dragon already wins you the matchup basically against the Mirror. So, and then you have the Gulamel pop as well, plus two draws off the DRACOTAIL cards. It's a very, very, very good on board. So yeah, just showing you guys right here, we can go to Altharion now off the Phimena, also Sun's Titanclad for Albaz in the end phase, worst case. So yeah, that's your one card branded fusion combo. Alright, so now I'm going to show you the insane combo that we've showed off once before on the channel. The shout out to Nightfall TCG for this one. You basically just need branded opening plus fusion deployment. So this Aluber is going to be branded opening. Just pretend it's branded opening. So we are going to go fusion deployment here to summon out the Cartesia, and then we're going to go fusion deployment to special summon out the Aluber, obviously by discarding a card, but this won't matter at this point. And then we can search out the branded fusion, and then we can go branded fusion here and go branded fusion, sending the Frixel plus the Albaz. Very similar combo to last time, except that we're going to be doing a few more spicy things. We can then go trigger the Albion this time actually, and then trigger the Frixel once again, and then also then chain the Cartesia here to fuse off itself, plus the Aluber to go out to the Grand Guignol, so that you have a dark in graveyard for the Albaz to make Mirror Jade. and then you can make the Lubellion and then set the Ketu off the Frixel, and then go Lubellion effect, discard for your first disc or your second discard, and then go Grand Guignol effect on trigger to summon or to send out the Saronir, and then spin back the Lubellion plus the Albaz for the Mirror Jade. And on the new chain, you can trigger the Saronir and send the Bestial Lubellion so that you can then tribute over the Albion on your field. And that's why Saronir is so good in the DRACOTAIL pile branded variant, because it bridges the engines very easily. And then we can go out to the Lubellion, and here you could either get branded Etude or branded Lost. I think branded Lost is better here though for the combo, because then we can go Ketu DRACOTAIL and then search out the Lucius, since we have yet to normal summon, and that's why this needs to be branded opening versus normal summon a Luber. But the thing is that this is still a very good combo in my opinion, because those are two cards that you very commonly have in the pile version. So this combo is definitely much more for the pile version, right? Because you don't run branded opening in or a Luber in the hand trap version, but that's okay. I still think the pile version is very good, right? I've been making videos on it for months now. So now we can normal summon Lucius and then go Lucius effect to search out the Fimena. And now we can go Fimena effect to then fuse off the Grand Guignol plus the Lucius into the Secretarion, or sorry, the Lubellion plus the Lucius into the Secretarion, and then go trigger the branded Lost so that we can get the Shrouded Dragon. Use Lucius to set, right, obviously. Use the Secretarion's Ignition effect to then target the Saronir and the Frixel in graveyard, and then spin back the Saronir and then summon out the Frixel, and then go Frixel effect to summon out the Fimena and then spin it to hand. And now we can go and then here, since we have the set Rahu, we can then use a Rahu to then send the Urgula plus the Fimena to then go into the DRACOTAIL Altharion. Also, I'm going to send the Albion the Shrouded Dragon here since it doesn't really matter, and then trigger the Fimena plus the Urgula to then to then get the DRACOTAIL Flame and the DRACOTAIL Horn. And then you can bounce the Bestial Lubellion off the Altharion in the graveyard, which is really cool as well, because then you can get a free search, and then you can get the Fimena back to hand as well, since you discarded 2 for the Altharion. And now you can go Urgula effect to target the Lucius to give it back to your hand, and then you can go Bestial Lubellion effect to search out the Magnemite, and then go Magnema effect to then banish the Lubellion in the graveyard to then use its effect to then search. But now you have 3 dragons on board, and this is kind of optional, but you can go into the Trishula. Yeah, no, Trishula then can banish from your deck and then also extra deck rip from your opponent, so you get information on what they're on. But then you can also banish the Tri-Brigade Mercurier and then go Mercurier effect to search out the Spriggan's Kit. And then so you can special summon the Spriggan's Kit to then get a Fallen and the Virtuous from your deck and put back a card from your hand. And so that's why you do need technically 3 discards, but like a lot of this pays for itself because of your other cards. And then you also have draw 2 with your 2 DRACOTAIL traps, and now you get to set the Fallen and the Virtuous. And then also you have the Shrouded in the graveyard to then send the Albaz to the graveyard, so you have everything that you need for the end phase. And then you can go Cartesia effect to go back to hand, and then you can go Albion effect to then set the Branded in red, so you have Branded in red, the Fallen and the Virtuous, 2 DRACOTAIL traps, plus a Mirror Jade that's live, and Grand Guignol, plus Fimena in hand. And then you can go main. It's just like such an insane board, and you don't even have to go into the Trishula. That's just kind of like win more on some level, because you could also just like save the Mercurier. So you definitely don't need the Trishula for the majority of this line, right? So the Trishula is just there as a way to kind of just like rip from the extra deck, and then also extend you into the kit play. But obviously, like, your end board's already really good, so do you really need the Branded in red? You're probably winning with this end board anyway. But this is just like a very good way on like how to make the best end board that Branded DRACOTAIL has to offer. And for the last combo, I wanted to show off why I really enjoy Despy and Tragedy in kind of like branded builds, because it's just like a straight starter essentially, and it's like one of your best sends off a Rahu in particular. So you can just go Rahu, send the Tragedy plus like really just another discard, go into the Altharion, trigger the target the Fimena, and then trigger the Fimena after you trigger the Tragedy, so you can chain block it, and then use Fimena to set the Ketu, and then you can search out the Aluber off the Tragedy, and then send back the Fimena to hand, and then also the Tragedy for another discard. You could also go the Ketu here to get the Urgula for later, and then normal summon the Aluber, go for high spirits, and then you can chain the high spirits, send the Urgula to then get the Titanclad in the graveyard and search out the kit. And this is also why I really love kit in these types of builds, because then you can go kit effect to then search out the branded fusion, and you're already playing around Ash because they have to choose to Ash you on the branded and high spirits, or else you're going to be playing through Ash automatically, and you already have 5 mana plus Titanclad, so you already have a lot. So then we can go branded fusion, hopefully don't get Ash, send the Fallen of Albaz plus the Lubellion, go into the Albion. And here you can either banish off the Altharion or another Dark. Here we're just going to banish off the Aluber to then go into the Lubellion, and then spin back itself plus the Mirror Jade, tribute over the Albion for the Lubellion, go Lubellion effect to get the branded Loss or the branded Etude, and then we can go 5 mana effect to then send to the graveyard Altharion plus the discard in hand for a Gulamel to then trigger the branded Loss and go for a Tri-Brigade Mercurier, which is another interruption on the board, and then go for the Urgula, target the 5 mana. And this is a very good end board, all things considered, because then you can go into the end phase, go Titanclad for Quem effect to send the Albaz. You don't have actually Cartesia in rotation with this whole combo, which is kind of crazy, but then you can go Albion effect to go for Branded in red or Fallen in the Virtuous. So this is like very doable, honestly, with a lot of different kinds of builds. And this is what I really love about Despian Tragedy and the more pile builds. So like people can experiment with like maybe running multiple tragedies if they're running Rahu as a way to have consistency, even have like the Shadal Construct in the extra deck as a way to have a high spirits bridge. So yeah guys, what did you think about this? I know a lot of people want like a 50 card branded DRACOTAIL build, so this is what I'm having for like a 50 card branded DRACOTAIL build. I know I got some questions about that, so here's the build. You don't have to run Trishlo, by the way, and you could also main the lock. I'm just choosing not to because I think I'm making really good end boards. Besides then I can side in the lock for when I'm going first for sure. So yeah, what did you think of that? If you want to see the advanced combo guide, let me know down below. We're going to be getting to that. It's going to be like several hours. It's going to be a very good combo guide. Then once again, you can always support the channel by clicking the join button down below on YouTube to become a channel member. Get on my members only classroom where you get access to my early deck list before anyone else, and then also you get to ask me questions, get a little extra coaching on the side basically while supporting the channel. Great way to do that. But of course you can always do it for free by subscribing today. We're on the road to 15,000 subscribers, less than 100 away. So guys, click the join button, click the subscribe button, comment down below what you guys thought of this combo guide. What was your favorite combo? Are you playing pure branded or branded DRACOTAIL? And do you guys want to see me run the hand trap branded version? I have a new hand trap branded version that's very spicy. I know some people have been wanting to see my takes on that, especially now that I got like 6 regional tops the last weekend. So very good build. So so you also get all my deck lists and then also like meta choices. So it's just a really good resource. And we'll be seeing you guys later. Have a good one.